E3 is just around the corner, and that means we're soon going to have an overwhelming amount of information about new and existing video games to get excited about. As always with E3, there will probably be some shock reveals, some disappointments, and some incredible announcements. So in today's episode, we're going to be counting down the top 10 games we want to see at E3 2019. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and push that bell notification to stay up to date with all of our awesome gaming content. Oh, and don't forget to leave a comment down below with what you want to see at E3 2019. Now keep in mind, we won't be mentioning games that are still shrouded in mystery like Grand Theft Auto 6 or the next Elder Scrolls title. So let's get to it. Number 10. The Outer Worlds. Fallout 76 fell flat for basically anyone who played it, so it's understandable that fans of the Fallout-style sci-fi RPG are pretty hungry for a new experience to really sink their teeth into. Well, The Outer Worlds could be perfect for that. Developed by the Fallout New Vegas veterans at Obsidian Entertainment, directed by those who created the Fallout franchise in the first place, this new first-person shooter RPG takes us back to the classic feeling of a Fallout game with all of the flash and polish you would expect of a current generation title. Obsidian is owned by Microsoft now, so we'll almost definitely be seeing The Outer Worlds at their E3 press briefing, showing us even more of the quirky interplanetary adventures that The Outer Worlds has to offer. We can't wait. Number 9. Control. If you're a fan of Max Payne, Alan Wake, or Quantum Break, then you should be excited for the upcoming Remedy Entertainment game Control. This game feels a whole lot like the SCP Foundation, and we'll see protagonist Jesse Faden as she moves through the strange, secretive government agency, the Oldest House, a collection of some of the world's strangest and most dangerous supernatural objects. Ooh, spooky. This madcap third-person supernatural freak fest is set to release on August 27th, 2019, so we're all expecting Remedy to give us at least one last look at Control's unique blend of superpowered combat before the launch of the game. Everything we've seen so far looks incredible, so who knows what they could do to up that pre-release hype factor even more. Number 8. FABLE 4. Once upon a time, FABLE 4 was just a pipe dream that none of us really expected to come true. 2 years ago, the development studio behind the game, Lionhead Studios, was closed. Rest in peace. But earlier this year, a report from Eurogamer reignited the hope that there might be more FABLE in the future. The report stated that their personal sources had told them Playground Games, the UK-based developers behind Forza Horizon, were recruiting new workers in a second office, with the aim of creating a 200-strong team to work on FABLE 4. This is backed up by the fact that Playground were actually advertising for developers to work on their AAA open-world RPG. An Xbox API leak early in the year also suggested that a FABLE game with the codename Wisdom was in the works by a UK developer. The puzzle pieces seem to line up, and it would be pretty cool to see FABLE 4 at this year's E3, so here's hoping. Number 7. Watch Dogs 3. Rumors surrounding Watch Dogs 3 have been swirling the internet for quite a while now, but new leaks have sent the Watch Dogs community into hype overload. One of those leaks suggested that Watch Dogs 3 will be revealed on May 24th, but that clearly proved to be untrue. Maybe it'll come in June during E3 instead? Maybe? The German gaming site Spiel Times claims that 2 sources have independently verified that the game will focus on a character called Sarah, who works in an anti-terrorist organization from the UK, which deals with cybersecurity. You will supposedly be able to skateboard and tag the city of London with spray paint. The report also states that the game will forego any form of firearms. Now, before you get mad, considering it takes place in London where guns aren't exactly found on every street corner, that isn't so surprising. The game is set to launch in November 2019, so revealing more information about the game at E3 seems pretty much guaranteed. Number 6. Gears of War 5. Gears of War 5 has been teased by Microsoft for a while now, and while it was revealed in E3 2018, we haven't really heard anything about it since then. The game, developed by the Coalition, is going to be the 6th mainline title in the Gears of War series and will be a direct sequel to the 4th Gears game. This time round, the narrative of the game will focus on Kate Diaz, an outsider who is actually of Locust descent. Playing as Kate, you have to discover the origins of the Locusts themselves and Kate's family. Familiar faces will also return, including the Gears of War protagonist JD Phoenix, his friend Delmit Walker, and veteran of the series Marcus Phoenix. While we've seen little clips of the game from the Gears of War Twitter account and the initial reveal last year, we still know surprisingly little about the title. Now, considering Gears 5 is set to be released this year, it's safe to say we'll probably see something new at E3. Number 5. Cyberpunk 2077. It feels like we've been waiting for Cyberpunk 2077 to be released forever now, and that's because it was actually announced back in 2013 with its first teaser trailer at that year's EGX, meaning we've actually known about the game for a grand total of 6 years. The fact that it isn't already in our consoles and on our PCs ready to be played is sort of surprising. But what's even more surprising than that is how much we don't know about this game. We don't even have a release date yet. According to the official E3 Twitter account though, this is the year that we're gonna be learning a whole lot more. At E3 this year, there's going to be a full panel on the past, present, and future of CD Projekt Red, the studio behind Cyberpunk. This will almost definitely contain new details on the game, likely ranging from gameplay mechanics to post-launch plans and hopefully that ever-elusive release date. But Cyberpunk won't just be talked about at this panel, it will also likely be featured during the Microsoft E3 conference. This year, the Microsoft conference is a whole 20 minutes longer than it was last year, so we can likely expect to see some sort of new gameplay trailer for Cyberpunk during it, with hopefully some new gameplay footage if we're lucky too. So far, we've seen some of the gunplay and combat from the game, but considering how long we've been waiting for this thing and how excited people are, we could always do with seeing a little bit more. Number 4. Animal Crossing Switch. Fans of Nintendo have been hoping for an Animal Crossing game on the Switch since before the console had even released, and it wasn't until September 2018 that the prayers of fans were finally answered. After the reveal of Isabelle as a playable fighter in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it was revealed that a new entry into the mainline Animal Crossing series was going to be released on Switch at some point in 2019. Other than that, we don't really know anything. The reveal in the September Direct didn't give us any look at gameplay. It's highly likely that this new entry into the franchise will play similarly to 2013's New Leaf, which was released on the 3DS and was the last entry to the core series. Building up your town, paying off debts, and visiting other players' villages will almost certainly be included in the Switch Animal Crossing. We can also probably expect to see a massive jump in graphics, similar to the jump in graphics Pokemon made with their upgrade to the new console. It's almost certain that Nintendo are going to want to show off its latest entry to the Animal Crossing franchise in their E3 Direct, and possibly even more gameplay at their Nintendo Treehouse events afterwards. Number 3. Halo Infinite. Back at E3 2018, Microsoft gave us our first look at Halo Infinite. It wasn't a long trailer, but it was enough to give any Halo fan chills. Starting with the beautiful looking environments with a majestic sounding background track, before moving into that classic orchestral score with the first glimpse of the Master Chief's helmet and a massive Halo ring. That's really all we got to see of the new game, but 343 Industries have talked a little over the past year about what we can expect going forward. The game supposedly runs on a brand new engine that 343 Industries has been slaving over for years, which results in the beautiful new graphics that we saw in the trailer. The team is supposedly, according to rumors, trying to make the story adapt to player decisions, making the latest installment of the Halo franchise less linear and more like an RPG. The game will also see the return of the Forge, and supposedly, no Battle Royale mode. What? New leaks pinned the release date of the new title in the holiday season of 2020, with a claim that the game will be cross-generation with the next Xbox generation console, as well as a release on Windows 10. The same leak also suggests that there will be a large info dump of what we are set to see in the game at this year's E3, as well as a new trailer. Number 2. Pokemon Sword and Shield. It was only a matter of time before Nintendo brought Pokemon over to the Switch. And while Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee were fun, they weren't exactly a full Pokemon experience. Then Nintendo blew us all away with their UK-themed Pokemon Sword and Shield in its February Direct. The Direct didn't exactly give us much to go on. We know that the game is going to be set in the Galar region, which is very clearly based on the UK. We also know that it's going to be released in the second half of the year, which isn't surprising considering that's when most Pokemon titles come out. Other than that, we know literally nothing else, which almost guarantees it for a massive showing during this year's E3 Nintendo Direct, with almost definitely some form of gameplay being shown at their Treehouse events afterwards. Number 1. The Avengers Project. Over the past decade, the Avengers have become one of the biggest franchises on the planet. Marvel's superhero team have become one of the most recognizable pieces of media of all time, and yet somehow, in the past 11 years since Iron Man stunned us with an incredible start to the MCU, there has only been one noteworthy Marvel game, that being the new Spider-Man game by Insomniac on PS4. Now, the Avengers Project was first announced by Marvel Entertainment on the 26th of January 2017. The game looks to be set in a dark time for the Avengers. With the Avengers seemingly disbanded, the world needs its heroes to return once again, and they will in this Square Enix-led Avengers project. Now, what else do we know about the game? Basically nothing. After that initial reveal in 2017, things have been pretty quiet on the Avengers project front. Hopefully that'll change during E3 2019. We know Square has a show on Monday, June 10th, and they promise to show an exciting lineup of titles. That means we might finally get a look at what the Avengers project actually is. I can't wait. Well, that's a wrap on our video of the top 10 games we want to see at E3 2019. What are some games you want to see at this year's E3? As always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for even more awesome gaming content right here on ArcadeCloud. Thanks guys, I'll see you next time.